Welcome back to the RotoMoto injury report brought to you by O'Neal. We have our first week off since the beginning of January, and you would expect everybody to heal up, and maybe we would end up with more guys healthy on the track than before, but of course you would be wrong. We did manage to get a factory guy returning to the series in Glendale this weekend, but unfortunately we did lose another factory guy for the entire season, as well as a 450 main event mainstay. Starting with the big news, unfortunately another debilitating blow to Pro Circuit Kawasaki as they lose their sixth and final rider that started the season with the team. Jet Reynolds, Seth Hamaker, Ryder DiFrancesco, and Joe Shimoda never even got to line up in 2023. Austin Forkner made it only through a heat race, and Cameron Mcadoo made it all the way to April, running third in points, but unfortunately that is where it ends. The Pro Circuit team first broke the news on Wednesday with a quick press release saying only that he sustained a practice injury and that he will not be lining up at Glendale this weekend. But Thursday, Cameron elaborated further about his injury, saying, "On Monday, due to circumstances out of all of our control, I crashed and hurt my shoulder, resulting in dislocation and a torn labrum. I'm going in for surgery this morning. I'm extremely bummed not to be able to do battle with my team for the next few months. I'll be right back to work getting ready for more as soon as I can. And of course, I'll keep you guys updated on my progress. Really appreciate all the support, and I'll see everyone soon." A few months is a loose and subjective term, but obviously that rolls out the remainder of the Supercross season. And as of today, it is only 7 weeks to the start of outdoors, so likely he would miss that start as well. Returning after a week off before Redbud would make logical sense, but his date could get moved up or back depending on what other riders Pro Circuit is able to field come mid-summer. Another unfortunate departure from the series is PRMX Kawasaki's Cade who will be out for the foreseeable future. After returning to the sport in 2020, Cade has been at every single event without missing even one, which is rather impressive in itself. But Cade suffered a practice crash early this week that resulted in a broken rib and a collapsed lung. His recent Instagram post said, quote, "See what happens over the next week and hope to be out there soon," which likely means that he will be back in action sooner rather than later. But bruised and broken ribs are one of the worst types of nagging injury you can push through, so no doubt he'll be operating lower than 100% for the remainder of the 2023 Supercross campaign, even if he does come back. On the bright side, one 450 main event guy out, one factory 450 guy in. After a hard practice crash in Daytona that kept him on the sidelines for over a month, Honda HRC rookie Colt Nichols is finally poised to return to battle this weekend in Glendale. Head injuries are always the toughest to deal with, as it's not always as cut and dry of when someone could reasonably be ready to return and race at a high level, but the good news is that Colt has been riding much of the last month, so he shouldn't have too much rust to shake off. Just get back into that racer's mindset that won him the 250 Regional Supercross title in 2021. Two 250 guys injured themselves in Seattle, and they will miss time to recover. The first is unfortunately Revo Kawasaki's Dylan Walsh, who was consistently battling for top 10s in the 250 West division before a heat race crash ended his streak. He suffered a broken tibia, but despite how bad that sounds, Dylan was rather optimistic, talking about it on Instagram, saying, quote, "Shouldn't take too long to recover. Looking forward to lining back up soon." And similarly, rookie Julian Bennick of the PRMX Kawasaki squad broke his thumb in a multi-rider crash in his heat race that will keep him off the bike for a few weeks. But still a chance we do see him on the gate at least one more time before this season wraps up in May. A few other notables to touch on. Dylan Ferrandis continues to sit out following a concussion suffered early in the season, complicated by his practice crash at Daytona. It is possible to see him in Supercross before it is over and done, but he will definitely be ready to return for the outdoor season opener. Similarly, Marvin Musquin is still nursing a broken scaphoid from January, but he could be seen before the Supercross season wraps up. Alex Ray broke his ring finger casing a jump in Detroit, and although a small injury, he has posted his race bike for sale. So let's hope it is just a joke and we will at least see him for a round or two during his advertised farewell tour, probably in Denver. Bubba Pauly literally severed his thumb in a freak on-track accident in Indianapolis. He has been posting the entire recovery process on Instagram. If you have the stomach to see that, I will not dare try to sneak any of that past the YouTube censors over here. Matt Moss hurt his thumb in Oakland, but he actually missed the last round due to a prior commitment racing overseas and not actually his injury. So he will be back this weekend and should be in good health. Filthy Phil Nicoletti faced complications recovering from his fractured wrist, with one of the pins irritating his skin. Another one I don't dare show here, but check out his Instagram for more information. Luckily, the doc is optimistic about his recovery, so we should see him by the midpoint of outdoors. I believe he is eyeing a red bud return. Next week, we head back east, and with that, the expected return of at least 2 race winners back in the 250 fray. Pro Circuit is poised to get Joe Shimoda back from a collarbone injury sustained just before the season began. Joe has been on the bike for a month already and should be up to speed for Atlanta. Similarly, Club MX Yamaha's Garrett Marchbanks has also been on the bike since the beginning of March, and he is expected to line up for the 4 remaining rounds he is eligible for in the East after breaking his radius and dislocating his wrist, resulting in 2 surgeries. With the depleted East, I would expect to see both of these guys jump straight into the series and start competing for podium finishes. Be sure to stay tuned to the channel for more updates as the season goes on, and also subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss those live post-race shows that I host immediately following the 450 podium ceremonies every weekend. Thanks as always for watching RotoMoto. My name is Donnie. Keep it pinned to the weekend.